Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everybody. Good to see you guys. Absolutely. Just on the injury front, I'll just give it to you right now. Is so DJ, Evan, Newbin, JMS, and AT. We'll rest them today. They won't go today. Everyone else will get some work done.
Can you say that again really quick? Sorry.
Sure. Yep. DJ, Evan, Newbin, JMS, and Andrew Thomas.
Do you have a feel at all for Andrew? Is that more rest or is that more? I mean, obviously from the hamstring and whatnot. What?
Yeah, he's not going to go today. We'll just kind of see how it feels, and he's got a couple of days here to see how it looks. Yeah.
When does it become best just to shut guys down? There's 2 games left. He's not going to be able to make it this week. Is it worth, rushing him back for the finale or anything?
Well, we'll just I think we'll look at and see where the extent of the injury is, and then just let's give him a couple of days here, and then evaluate it, and then make a decision.
Same with JMS?
Same thing, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to see how he responds to the treatment, and then by Thursday, Friday, we'll have a feel.
What do you want to see from Jaxson? Kind of a bounce back game, I guess. Yeah,
really, Jaxson, the whole offensive unit, myself, we all are. Obviously, last week's performance wasn't to our standard, right? So we came back to work today and yesterday, dialed in on the game plan and emphasized the things that we need to get corrected. And then today's a great day because yesterday was kind of a walkthrough tempo. So today's a great day, a good work day in terms of getting out of the field, full speed, the timing, the rhythm, the communication. Ramping that up as well. We're inside. We'll have the crowd noise. So there'll be a few different elements that we'll have to work through. So I'm expecting and anticipating a good work day today.
Were you curious to see how he came back from that game? I mean, you guys have, you've been in the game long enough to have ups and downs. This was sort of his first.
No, I wouldn't say I was curious. I knew exactly how he would respond. Like he'd respond to anything. The highs, the lows, he'd respond the same way with great attention to detail, urgency to get better. And so Jackson's had that approach. Our whole offense has that approach, and he's the leader of the ship. And they're going to follow his direction and the leaders that we have on offense. So, again, one of those days today where it should be a lively practice.
For you, how do you view that coach-quarterback relationship? Obviously, you've had it with Mahomes and now Jaxson. How do you view how important that is to just kind of develop guys, just kind of help the quarterback get through these highs and lows as a young quarterback?
It's extremely important. It's extremely important because I've been in those situations, but seeing the game through the helmet that way and be able to give them my experiences, being able to go through not only as a player but also as a coach, and having to go through those ebbs and flows of a season or a game or a quarter or a series or a play. You can kind of dial it down to a couple different scenarios. So. And we have a great resources in that room as well. Shea, Coach Tierney does a great job. The veterans that we have in that room being able to give feedback as well. And for Jaxson and for any young player, they're absorbing that information. They're making it their own. They're making their corrections themselves, and then they're going out and applying it to the practice field.
You're obviously communicating with Jaxson all the time, but when he has a game like he had, all you guys have, but obviously he talked after the game. He's never had an experience like that before, and. How do you handle that in terms of you're speaking to him all the time, but are there different pointed messages that you give him after a game like that than say, a game that he had more success in?
I think the messaging is consistent. The highs and the lows, they're all consistent. Where are the opportunities that we can learn from? Where are the opportunities we can grow from? And there's plenty of things that he did well in that game too, whether it was getting in and out of alerts, operation at the line of scrimmage. Sure, there's things that we can improve on, just like there is every single game. So I think the consistency of that dialogue and really where the points of emphasis for that game, putting that kind of turning the page, and now what can we do to apply those same learning tools to this game? Because this is a different team. This is a different scheme. Yeah, there may be similar pressures. There may be similar fronts and structures, but this is a different group. This is a different game entirely. So making sure that we kind of compartmentalize that game, and now what's the focus for this game, turn the page and putting together a great plan and having a great practice routine and great practice schedule so that we can have a good game this week.
Not giving away too much. Like you said, they're a different team. I'm sure this is going to be a little bit of a different game plan than what you had run heavy last time.
Every week's different. Every week's different, and I think whenever we can take advantage of whether it's our personnel, their personnel, our scheme, their scheme, we're going to look at that. And every game's going to be a little bit different. Whatever we think is the best way to attack them and will give us the best chances to win the game, that's what we'll try to do.
Mike, obviously.
How much have you had to talk to him about allowing him to sort of play his game, his freelance style? There was post he liked that seemed to suggest he's not able to fully play his game.
I'm not sure I got the post. I'm not sure I saw that post. All I know is that we want to give our players, we don't ever want to have our players in a box, put them in a box. So we want to give our players the ability to express themselves on the field to the best of their abilities and let their natural ability show. But sure, we have framework within the offense, within our offensive system, that has certain rules that we have to work through, right? And so you take those rules and then you give it to the players, and then they elevate it and they put their own stamp on it and they make it their own. They make it great.
So from your perspective, you haven't heard that from him, like that he's frustrated with.
No, we talk almost every day on a personal level, and then obviously in the football level. But we have those discussions about how the game could have went or should have went, or things that we can get corrected together. And again, I'm right there, arm in arm with them in terms of our operation, how we're going to play on offense. Like we say, it's an 11-man operation. I'm like kind of the 12th man of that, right? Like, and our coaching staff is an extension of me as well. So we're all in this thing together. We want everyone to have their best games. We want everyone to play well, but every game is going to be different, and so it's going to take certain things on certain games to win. And we've said this in the past, whether it's running the ball 30 times or throwing the ball 50 times, we don't necessarily know how it's going to declare itself, but the ability to adjust and adapt to that scenario, and then give ourselves a chance to win it in the fourth quarter, which is where a lot of these football games come down to. That's the main goal.
Mike, you've obviously been, the last couple of years off season's gone through some interview processes for head coaching stuff. I'm curious how you would characterize the things you've learned about yourself and about doing this job in these last 5 or 6 weeks here, 5 weeks now.
Yes, I think it's been a great learning experience. Every single day I'm growing. Every single day I'm learning something new, not only about myself, but about the players. How can I continue to give my best to the players, an asset? Where can I be an asset to them? Where can I be an asset to the coaching staff? How can I continue to serve them, the people around us and our organization? How can I be an asset and serve them to the best of my ability? That's really the one thing I'm learning every single day. Like where's the one piece I can help insert myself to help them be better? And we talk about it a lot as a staff, and not only just offensively, but talking with the coordinators on our team and where we need to be and what are the messaging and what are the things that we need to talk about to get the best out of our players, whether that's changing things in the schedule, whether that's changing personnel groupings or getting into certain scheme stuff, or it's just, hey, how are we going to operate in the building? How are our meetings going to sound? How are they going to look? What does the feel of this building look like, and how is that going to change on a weekly if we need to make adjustments, or overall, what we need to do to be better and to continue to find a way to win.
You've always been, in front of us. It's always been about the players. But, for you as a head coach, you're still waiting for your first win. How difficult has that been to not taste that yet, and the drive to get that done maybe Sunday? Winning's hard in this league, and we all know that. But we know that there's also, if we do the right things, offensively, defensively, special teams, we do the right things as a staff, that we'll get those results. And so, we have a great focus in on what's most important. That's today, and working through our critical situations, our third down, our short yardage, mixing in some 2-minute as well. That's going to be a huge part of this game. So we have to be detailed. We have to be understanding what this game plan is and master that game plan. That way we can apply it to Sunday. Do you at all? Just one more question about that. It's human nature to wonder, if for all of us, what our future is, what the next step or whatnot. Do you wonder about that at all? Do you when you're having a quiet moment at home at all, or are you blocking that out and getting through these 2 games? Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, my only focus has been just on this team, this week, today, because you don't have time. I don't have time to overthink all those other things. Like, my only focus is on the players. How can I make them the best? My coaching staff, the staff around us. How can I make them the best? And so that's really the only focus. So if you think of it that way, it keeps it really simple in your mind, and you don't have to worry about all that other stuff. That just bogs your mind down. So that's really where our focus is, and I'm excited. Every day I come to work, I love my job. Almost there, but almost there. It's hard. I'm getting, this fires me up. So I love coming to work every day and working with everyone here. And it's special. It's a special organization. This is a special team. I know the results aren't where we're at, but that's in the past. We can only focus on today and find a way to get a win today.
You mentioned the messaging. Like when Tom Coughlin used to say at the beginning of the Wednesday meetings, he used to lay out everything for the team, right? Mm-hmm. The rhetoric outside of the building is okay, the loser here is in line for the #1 overall pick. Do you bring that up to the guys at all? Is it even part of your messaging? Like, hey, ignore that, don't pay attention to that, just tune the app, anything like that of the sort?
I haven't talked about it with the players. The players want to win. The coaching staff wants to win this week. Like, this is our only focus is this week, and so all our messaging, all that we're talking about is how we can get better. Number one as a team, and then what we have to do today to go out there to Vegas and beat the Raiders.
With Abdul, the last 3 games, it feels like he's gotten better and better, not just with the numbers, but just his energy, his motor. What do you say to him to try to tell him, hey?
Sorry, say it again.
With Abdul.
Abdul, yeah.
Abdul, the last 3 games, I feel like he's
Yeah.
turning a corner, I would say. How do you just tell him to just keep going and just not necessarily not get complacent, but just keep building on this to end the rookie year strong for him?
I think when you put in the work and you have a plan and then you go and have success, I think that kind of proves to you that this is kind of the recipe. There's really no substitute for the hard work, for the dedication of the time, and when you put that process in, you continue to work through that process, because I'm sure even though he came in early, he's looking at certain things. He goes, okay, well, how can I make this more efficient? What more can I add to that? Well, maybe there's some things I can subtract that I don't necessarily need at that point in time. So he's working through that process as a young player, but when you see success, that's going to continue to charge him forward and get more. Like, where can I get more? Where's another edge I can go grab to make myself a better player? So when you see young players doing that, like Abdul, and I can go up and down the roster in terms of the guys that are doing that, you're going to see the results, and you got to believe that.